That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact, devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. He ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he looked like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check over. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now.
Speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't explain
Yo,
it.
it's your boy, Big Mike Raider. And we're here for day 15 of the 30 Days, 30 Prospects, Season 3, where today we're covering Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, 6 foot, 195-pound corner, a coverage specialist, man coverage specialist, press specialist, very willing tackler, can get physical, can get down and dirty. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk pros and cons. We're going to talk about draft placement. Where can we get Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame? He's a junior coming out. He was out for 2024, but this guy is impressive. His film pops. Could he be cornerback one, replacing Jack Jones? Could it happen, man? We'll talk about it, man. But before we get into anything, man, you guys already know the drill. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Big Mike Raider. So let's talk about it. We got Benjamin Morrison. Shout out to NFL.com. We're going to read his overview real quick. Analysis by Lance Zerline, NFL analyst. Shout out to him. Linear outside cornerback whose eye-catching ball production must be balanced out by his inconsistencies in coverage. Morrison would appear to be a natural press corner, but he lacks ideal footwork to mirror and match out not only the release but the initial route breaks. He has below-average coverage fluidity in open spaces and appears to be more effective covering the deep ball than shadowing routes on the first two levels. Morrison is more patient from off coverages and takes efficient pass to the throw, so a more zone-oriented scheme could make sense while helping to minimize areas of concern. So, he's willing to play coverage, man coverage. I've seen it. This guy's physical. He's really handsy, but he can get the job done, and it fits in what Patrick Graham, what he's doing as far as he plays some zone coverage as opposed to a guy like Jack Jones who really wanted to take risk at the man coverage situation. It's a better fit. Some of his strengths. Let's talk about some of his strengths. Shout out to NFL.com. Inquisitive, but patient in reading routes from an off-man coverage. So, he's in man coverage, but he's patient. He'll get the job done. He's watching the feet of the receiver. He's watching mostly the hips, tells you where you're going. He's very smart when it comes to that, right? Squeezes deep routes with proper positioning and head turn. Now, I saw him specifically against Marvin Harrison Jr. In the 2023 season. He did that, right? He did a lot of that stuff where he was shadowing and not being very handsy, just putting his body in the perfect position to make plays. Good makeup speed to chase and close separation. He closes in very fast. There's a reason why he had 9 total interceptions in 2.5 seasons, really. His freshman year, he broke out with 6 interceptions. His sophomore year, he broke out with 3. And he shortened his 2024 season with a little bit shortened. He had a hip injury. He's coming back from that, and he's going to be all right. Outstanding ball production. Like I said, 9 interceptions in 31 games. This guy is a pick machine. He gets the job done as far as that goes. He finishes the play. He's going to give an offense a chance to have a short field and get the ball downfield, something that we've been lacking for quite a while. Let's be honest. For quite a while, we've been looking for a corner that can make interceptions and make plays. Benjamin Morrison is that guy. Natural feel for attacking angles and catch points. Yeah, I mean, 6 foot, but he uses his body to his advantage. He waits to the wide receiver comes down if he does have the ball in his hand, and he places his hands in the right situation, in the right placement, and gets the ball, out of his hands. So that's one of them, right? Another one, challenges at the high point with soft, sticky hands. So he's not doing that. He's going up with you vertically. He's athletic. He ran a sub 4.40. So there you go. Check that off the box. This dude is very athletic, so he can go up with the best of them. So those are some of his strengths. Let's look at some of his weaknesses. Shout out once again to NFL.com. Lacks ideal arm strength and play strength as a press corner. So, press corner, that might not be his strength, but we don't really do a lot of press in our situations. Patrick Graham is pretty much like an off-man coverage guy, plays a lot of cover 3, which we've seen. And we're not going to necessarily have him really going press coverage with somebody like that. We won't see that, right? We can get away with, having Ja'Cory Bennett, who looks like he's going to be our cornerback 1, and, DeCamry Richardson, whoever it may be. We're going to go with the youth movement. And those two guys can kind of be the press guy if we ever get into a press situation. A guy like Morrison is going to be somebody who's going to be off man coverage, watching the hips of the receivers and really showing his athleticism by breaking to the ball if it's thrown like short, quick slant routes and things like that. He's going to use his athleticism rather than using his strength. So I'm not really concerned with it, right? Struggles to consistently mirror against sudden release fakes. He's going to work on that, right? We're going to get him sharpened up. If we pick him up, he's going to get sharpened with these receivers, especially a guy like Jacoby Myers, very crafty, always finds ways to get open. So if he's out there at practice working with one of our best receivers, it's only going to benefit him down the line, right? Below average hips and feet to retrace routes from trail positioning. Flexibility, conditioning, that can get the job done, in my opinion. Carries a slight stall before triggering to match route breaks. Okay, so agility, right? It's agility that you want to work on in those situations. If he has like a slight stall, right? Repetition can also fix that as well. So, and sometimes when you do have an injury like he did with his hip injury, sometimes you strengthen that so much that it becomes your strength. Take it from me, I've had 2 back surgeries, right? This guy, had a hip surgery, but after my back surgery, like I was working on like lower back workouts and different things like that to strengthen it up to the point where I feel confident in doing a lot more things. It could be the same kind of situation with him and his hip injury. He's worked on flexibility. He's worked on strength, open up the hips a lot more. So maybe down the line, that could be a strength in a way for him. So I'm staying positive with it. I think that he could be a guy that would really overcome that and show his ability to get better. Carries a slight, already said that, accessible throwing windows frequently open around him, and then below average tackler, allowing too many additional yards. But corners, a lot of them are willing to get their head in there anyway. This guy he makes a lot of whiffs on tackles, but that's a cornerback for you, right? So that's not really much of a big deal. But you guys let me know. Am I off the mark with Benjamin Morrison? Let me know. Let's take a look at NFLDraftBuzz.com, where we can see where all the experts will have Benjamin Morrison in the NFL draft, his draft placement. Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com. SI, Sports Illustrated, has him at number 21. DraftNet has him going at 23. So those are two experts, are saying that he's a first round talent, right? And looking at his film, it does look like he's a first round talent. ESPN 33. So right before we pick at 37 in the second round. CBS has him going at 39. Draft Buzz and PFN has him going at 43. MDDB has him going at 48. Todd McShay has him going at 49. PFF has him going 67 right before us in the third round. And then NFL.com rounds it out at 99. And from what it sounded like from the rundown from NFL.com, Zerline isn't really hot on him, to be honest with him. He has him as a top 100 type of guy, but not necessarily, he's at 99, right? And that's more of a 4th-round guy. I think personally, from what I've seen, what we've seen production-wise from him from the last 3 years, he is absolutely a guy that is a 2nd-round talent. He's a 2nd-round talent to me. I think at number 37, it would be a good pick. But let me know what you guys think. I know the hip injury is probably scaring some folks off, but when you see what he does on off-man coverage, where you see what he does with some of the elite receivers in college over his career, totaling 9 interceptions in his total career, it's impressive. And I think that coming out over on the other side of that hip injury, I think he's going to come out stronger. He's young, and those ball skills are undeniable. So, and that's something that we need. We need somebody that's going to be a ball hawk as far as taking the ball away and getting it done for the offense, giving them short fields. So you guys let me know what you think about it. I know that, like I said, the hip injury is a little bit, it'll make you pause a little bit, but I think we'll be all right with him in the 2nd round. But you guys let me know. So that is the pros and cons draft placement. Let's get into the breakdown, the film breakdown. And hey, you guys buckle up. Notre Dame's Benjamin Morrison has quietly become one of the most refined and dependable cornerbacks in the 2025 NFL draft class. At 6 foot, 195 pounds, Morrison has the length, fluidity, and instincts to match up with nearly any wideout he lines up across from. Over his career with the Irish, he racked up 9 interceptions and 18 passes defended, earning All-American and All-Independent honors while anchoring one of the most consistent secondaries in the country. What separates Morrison from the pack is his poise and polish in coverage. He's incredibly smooth in his transitions and rarely panics when the ball's in the air. He excels in zone and man schemes alike, showing high football IQ, elite route recognition, and the discipline to stay in phase throughout the rep. His ball skills are a legitimate threat to opposing quarterbacks. He plays the ball like a receiver at times. His breaks perfectly. However, Morrison is not without areas for growth. While physical at the line, he needs to add more strength to handle bigger, more physical NFL receivers. He's also an average tackler, willing but inconsistent in form and angles, especially in run support. Some scouts also want to see improved explosiveness coming out of his back pedal when breaking on underneath throws. For the Las Vegas Raiders, Morrison would be a perfect 2nd-round addition to the young developing secondary. The Raiders have long struggled to find consistent coverage play opposite their top corners, and Morrison brings the steady, technically sound presence they've lacked. His high football IQ and ball production would blend in well with pass rush led by Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, potentially leading to more takeaways in 2025. Drafting Morrison gives the silver and black a reliable cornerback 2 with cornerback 1 upside, someone who may not flash like other prospects but rarely gets beat. In a division stacked with elite quarterbacks and explosive wideouts, Morrison's calm, calculated style would be a welcome addition to Las Vegas. All right, so that's Benjamin Morrison in a nutshell, man. A guy, athletically, he's elite, right? He lacks a little bit of strength, can't really use him too much with press coverage, but off man, he does the job. He gets the job done, a cornerback 2 type of situation. And I think that we do have a whole list of good corners that can play cornerback 1, particularly Jacorian Bennett. I think that, before his injury last year, he was showing signs of being that cornerback 1. And I think he's going to come out just the same. And I think opposite of him, Morrison would be a perfect fit. But you guys let me know what you think about him. Do you take him in the 2nd round? Do you not? We pass up. How are we feeling about his hip injury? Let me know. But guys, that is day 15 of the 30 days, 30 prospects. And I'll see you guys on the next one. We're in the 2nd half tomorrow, man. Starting tomorrow. We're on the back 9 of the 30 days, 30 prospects. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact. Devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. He's ragdolled him.
flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he looking like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check over. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now.